I sort of already told you about one part of my life. And I want to talk about another. Whenever I was a kid, about 5 years old, it was my first day of preschool. I went in, nobody there liked me because I was the new kid. And I didn't really belong because they mixed kindergartners and preschoolers into one room. So I went in, and there was this little boy who was sent off to the corner of the room. And I had chosen to go over and sit by him. I didn't even say a word. All I did was just sat right next to him. He looked at me and he goes, "Hi, I'm Chandon." And I sat there. I looked at him and I said, "Hi." I didn't even say my name. And then the teacher started doing roll call and he goes, "Wow, your name is that's a pretty name." And as the year went on, he became my best friend in that grade. We used to sit there and we used to play with the coloring utensils. I'd color on him, he'd color on me. I'd take paint and I'd just smear all over his face because he put pencil marks on my color, on my picture. And it was just a back and forth thing. It was just, I was having fun. We're little kids. And at recess time, him and I just sat there just coloring the entire time. And he was getting sick a lot. I didn't know what was going on. I thought that was normal. I thought with him getting sick a lot, it was normal for him. And he started getting sicker and sicker. And a year had passed after I met him, and I found out that he has had cancer. A really bad type of cancer. It was actually a severe type of leukemia. And he had it since he was around 2 years old. At that time, he was about 6. And so him and I kept talking and talking and talking. And one day, he brought in this teddy bear. He said I can name it whatever I wanted to. It was a teddy bear that he used to sleep with all the time, ever since he was a little baby. And then that day was the last thing I saw of him. I named it Boo Boo. Because I figured one hug from this bear can fix anything. And it was about, I want to say, a week after he stopped going to school. And the teacher came over to me and she said that she's sorry. You gotta understand, I was 6 years old. I had no clue what she was saying about. So I asked her when Chandon's coming back. And she told me he's not ever coming back. And then it was about a week later, I found out he had passed on. I kept thinking to myself, it couldn't be. they're just joking with me. He's alive. But then, shortly after I found out he really did pass me. And I started getting angry at my grandfather and my grandmother because of a fight that's been going on for 17 generations in my family. I have autism, Asperger, ADHD, ADD, and anxiety. A panic disorder of anxiety. And my uncle had blamed me for his son getting diagnosed with autism. I was the first in my family to ever get diagnosed with autism in this family. And so I kept thinking I'm messed up. I'm nothing. I'm just crazy. And then a couple of years had passed. And like I said, my mother was abusive. But one thing that I kept doing throughout all my life was every single night I'd go over to the window and look up at the night sky, and I'll find the biggest star, like the biggest, brightest star that I can find in the sky. And I made a wish on it for a new mother. And so, because that happened, my father and my mother started fighting more and more. Until one day, he couldn't take it anymore. And so he stayed on the road for a couple of years. I only saw him once a year. And then, when things got really, really bad with my mother, my sisters and I went to the school for 8 whole years, telling the school about what's been going on at home. The school kept saying, no, it can't happen. Your mother's been saying that you just got hurt by falling down the stairs. And really, she was beating us. And one day, she had hit me with a phone. That very same day, the cops were right outside the door. Because they heard screaming. They had come in, and CYS came in and took my sister and me. For a couple of months, they separated me from my sisters. My sisters went into one house, which was a big house. And it was just them. Those 3. And I went into a house where kids constantly went in and out. Like, there would be 17 kids coming in, and then 20 going out. It was like an orphanage. It was a small building with a lot of kids. I'm talking a lot. Some of us had to sleep on the ground. But my dad got custody of my sisters and me. And every now and then I had to see my mom with the supervision of a police officer. And then after that, like after a couple years and her going and leaving because she was gonna get arrested in PA, so she ran to another state, to New York exactly. And my grandmother started getting sick. I didn't think of it. And then I thought, oh, you know what? She's just faking it. She's trying to get attention. That's what I kept telling myself. Because she'd sit there at, like, a party, and she would sit there and she'd be like, oh, I just puked, my stomach hurts, I'm gonna faint, and she kept making it seem like sympathy. But then, over the years, she started growing more and more cancer. She started out with just regular lung cancer. And then lung cancer turned into like she got lung cancer first, and then leukemia. And then after leukemia, she started getting cancer inside like her breast area over here, in those glands. And after that, she got kidney cancer. And that's happened within the last 3 to 4 years. She only had one kidney because she had to get rid of the other because it just shut down. So she only had one kidney. And she sat there in the hospital bed, and she looked over and just smiled as she looked peaceful. I sat there thinking, oh, it can't be. It really can't be. And then at the same exact time that she started getting cancer about 3 years ago, my grandfather started getting dementia and skin cancer. And it's gone to the point where he can't remember a thing. And I literally mean he can't remember a thing. At my grandmother's funeral, the day before Easter this year, he went up to her casket and he asked who's she. I tried talking to him and he didn't recognize me. I asked him if he knows his own name. He asked, he said no. And so I said his name and he said, who's he? And right now my grandfather is in the hospital due to overdosing. I've been upset lately because I know his time is coming. And I spent so many years mad at him. I got the wish that I wanted for a new mother. And after that, I started lining up a little bit. Then starting to realize that I'm going to lose both of my grandparents after being angry with them for so many years. I feel pretty cruddy about that. My grandmother, I never got the chance to say goodbye. At her funeral, I seriously was the last one to leave. I stood there at her casket and I kept talking to her. Like she could hear me. I kept trying to reach out and be like, I'm sorry, and just knowing that I could never get that chance. It makes me feel as if I did something very, 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 very wrong. I kept thinking, oh, I can appreciate what I got now. But then what I got is not leaving. Thank you for letting me talk. Bye. Potatoes?